Hi. This probably isn't the type of video you were expecting to come from this channel, seeing as all of my videos are just the haha funny FNAF man dancing to copyrighted music. No. Instead, this video is basically just me rambling on about why I personally believe that William Afton always coming back isn't necessarily a bad thing in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Now, before we get to the meat of the video, I just want to set the stage surrounding the quote-unquote controversy surrounding Afton's constant returns. Hey guys, editor Strictly here, recording this literally a month after what you just heard. Just to come in here for the record, I'm sick as I'm recording this. That's why my voice sounds bad. Anyway, that's not the point. I wanted to say sorry if my commentary is really bad and you can tell I'm reading off a script. I've never done this before, and I've never been really good at this. Just letting y'all know. Okay, enjoy the video, bye. Ever since the launch of FNAF 6, Afton's quote of
"I always come back"
didn't seem to mean anything for future titles. It was just referencing the fact he'd come back to life twice at that point. Oh, how so wrong we were. William would then go on to reappear in every main title following FNAF 6, Help Wanted, FNAF AR, and of course, Security Breach. This sparked a debate in the community regarding the overuse of Afton as a character, claiming it to be lazy writing and just getting old in general. But I'm here to defend that, and to get it out of the way, I know Scott Cawthon probably didn't intend on a couple of these points, but I don't care because it's my video, and you know what? You can sue me. Alright, with all that finally out of the way, let's get started with my defense of Afton always coming back. Now, personally, I have always interpreted the theme of FNAF as revenge never pays. What I mean by that is the fact that every time some form of revenge is played out, it almost never ends well for the person delivering it. Examples of this are Afton killing Charlotte, which was possibly done as a means of getting revenge on Henry for something, Afton destroying the FNAF 1 cast only to be killed in a Springlock suit, and finally, Henry burning the FNAF 6 pizzeria to the ground as an attempt to finally end it all, but as we all know, Afton ends up still returning. Now, to me, this all pushes a very clear theme of payback or revenge never amounting to anything in the end. This all connects back to Afton's constant returning in an obvious way. Someone attempts to get revenge or payback on him, and he comes back. It's as simple as that. My second point is that, well, he's the main antagonist of the franchise. It's sort of an unfair comparison, but villains like Bowser and Eggman appear in basically every game of their respective franchise, so why can't Afton? Hey, it's me, editor Strictly again, with no script again, and once again, I am sick. I wanted to add in here, another, probably a better example of this, that I've seen as of late, as I'm recording this, not as I recorded those last bits. Basically, a more comparable thing to Afton always coming back and that not being a problem with any other franchise is horror movie franchises, specifically slashers, like Friday the 13th with Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like that. I'm about to say it here, but no one really complains about those. It's very clear Afton's supposed to be a very similar thing, but like I say, maybe it's, you'll see. Now, to be honest, I even think this point of mine is pretty weak. Bowser and Eggman, for the most part, are doing something new and interesting in each game. Afton, however, isn't. William Afton is always given the same motivation. However, that motivation is never super clear. As I see it, his end goal is eventually going human again without the confines of the Springlock suit. That's never actually revealed to us, so that's just my speculation. Maybe if Afton was actually given proper and clear motives and he did something different to achieve them in each game, maybe then his always coming back trope wouldn't be so tiresome. My final point is, Afton returning is used to show the control he has. We see Afton like being in control a couple times throughout the franchise, actually. He manipulates the children to follow him to the safe room, he manipulates Charlie and her friends in the Silver Eyes novel, and he manipulates and controls Vanessa to become Vanny in Security Breach. Whenever Afton returns, it can be used as a point to further prove his manipulative and controlling nature. He is the one who started it all, and he won't let anyone else take that role. Okay, so you've all heard my reasons for why I don't mind Afton coming back, but what does the other side say? I've asked a couple people why they personally are against Afton returning, so let's go over what they said. The first point against Afton coming back is that he's getting stale and boring, especially with his inclusion in Security Breach where he basically does nothing. I think this point is pretty fair because it is clear that Afton's been getting stale for a while now, and it does definitely seem like they are beginning to run out of ideas of things to do with him, especially like they said, with his inclusion in Security Breach that just feels phoned in. Another reason I received is that they aren't doing anything new with him physically. Every time he returns, he's the same body. It would be better if he was a new vessel each time to spice it up. Now, I think this is also a really good reason, because Afton's form is always just a more destroyed Springtrap suit. They could have included more with Glitch Trap after Help Wanted, since he was a new and original design for the character. Someone else said that after FNAF 3, he lost a lot of his menace. They continue to reveal more about him with each appearance, which doesn't really live up to what the players imagine in their heads, which could be probably scarier. And it also just ends up removing the fear of not knowing anything about him. This is a good point. However, I personally believe that revealing more about him also gives a chance to do more with him as a character. But I do understand not wanting to know much about him because it does make him a little scarier. The final response says that, at this point, it is just completely preventing the story and the characters from progressing any further in their development. I'm sort of on the fence with this one, because on one hand I do agree that Afton continuously returning feels like the story isn't progressing. However, I think that this could be avoided with a few simple changes, which I will be getting into right now. Alright, here we are, the final part of the video. In this section I will be giving my own ideas and concepts of how I think Afton returning could be reworked into something more interesting. Just, bear with me for a little bit. This is gonna be rough and fun. My first idea is that William Afton should be given a very clear, set end goal. One of the biggest issues with Afton Returns that I have is that it's never clear of what his end goal really is. He just kind of does things with no motivation. Now, I'm not here to directly say what his end motivation should be, though I did kind of do that earlier in the video anyway. Secondly, mix up what happens to him at the end of the game. Maybe he doesn't need to actually die, quote unquote. Maybe he can just escape sometimes, just let him get away with it sometimes. And finally, make him cool. Literally, that's it. Just make him cool and menacing each time. Make it a big reveal. The main antagonist, especially the one who caused all of this in the first place, like Afton, deserves to be given a spectacle of a final boss. And I think that's what they wanted to do with Burn Trap and Security Breach, but that obviously did not work at all. And that's it. That was my personal reasoning and defense of the usage of William Afton in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Now, before the video ends, I would like to say a big thank you to the people who gave their points against Afton coming back, because I think it really did help make the video a lot more interesting. Let me know your thoughts on the whole debate in the comments. That's all from me. Alright, well, thank you for watching. I'm probably going to do more Fazanim and stuff like that, but hey, if you guys like this type of thing, I don't know, tell me. Alright, finally, that is it. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.